Yeah, my time.
How you do it so loud every single time?
Come on, you gotta match.
Good.
Yes.
God, there's no good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
Oh wow.
You gotta do it in like that, like English kind of accent. Sir?
Sir, good day, sir.
How are you, buddy? Look,
I am
we
great.
both have our Don't Suck at Sales sweatshirts on.
Yeah.
We got that merch, y'all.
Yeah, if you don't got the merch yet, what you waiting for?
No, what the crap?
I know.
Look at your sweatshirt. Everyone has a sweatshirt.
Yeah, anyone who doesn't suck at sales does. That's for darn sure.
So what's new and exciting? Anything?
So SWAT was really cool and awesome, and it was so awesome being there with everyone and getting up there and teaching people how to really dig into emotion. So high five to everyone that went, that we got to meet and greet, and yeah, it was killer. So
yeah, we welcome a bunch of new people.
Yes.
We saw a lot of new followers from it, which is really cool.
Yeah, if you are following us because of SWAT now, maybe you weren't listening, drop us a chat, drop us something in the comments below this podcast, preferably on YouTube if you're watching there.
Would you have them say like kick ass or badassery? What would you have?
Or kick some ass underneath, and we'll know that we saw you at SWAT. Yeah, and to let everyone know, my foot is still broken, and I don't know. Hopefully, I'll get out of this boot soon. A boot. But I am from Canada, so a boot time. It's a boot time I get out of the boot.
Das Boot.
Das Boot. But I know at SWAT we really got a chance to drum up the emotion, right? Teach people how to do story selling, right? But I know that we wanted to kind of back it up a little bit as well, because in addition to getting that emotion up, I know that I think of our sales process, John, almost like driving down the street, right? We want to lead a client to a decision, right? All the way through the process. So when you're driving and you go down, let's say, a road, what kind of happens like throughout your drive? There's a stoplight, right? Or a stop sign that will happen. So I kind of think of our sales presentation as that. Like there's going to be certain spots throughout the presentation that we want to stop, get like a micro commitment or a buy-in from the client. And then if that happens, we keep going, right?
You could also look at it like a DUI checkpoint.
Why would it be a DUI checkpoint? That would only count if you were drinking before you started your sale.
Stopping and assessing the situation to make sure that they're good, right? And then we can go. And if they're not good, we have to stop and do... No, you don't like it?
I don't know if I'm finding the DUI part, like driving under the influence. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're taking it out in the field. I mean, I guess I did. But if you think about it, right? Like you're stopping to make sure that they're doing the right thing.
Oh, okay. So okay, I got you. So like the cops check. I don't really see that. I'm in Florida. I don't think I've ever seen like a DUI checkpoint. In Canada, I would see them like every time I went out, even at like 5:00. So I like mine better.
All right.
What? Well, then I mean at night. Even at 5:00 after work. But anyways, okay. So our presentation has these little. I want to pretend like they're like little stop signs that come up right throughout. So let's talk about the phones, right? We get the people on the phone and we really go through and the little micro commitments. I wouldn't even call it that, but we want to get their health information, right? I think the real first time that we need a commitment from them is when we're booking the appointment.
Yeah.
Right? If you're booking an appointment for in the same day, right? And let's say you're not doing like a one-step appointment, I would say the first one is when you're booking it. And if it's same day, it would be something along the lines of, all right, John, would you be free in like about 30 minutes for a quick 7-minute call to close your case? And I'm going to get a yes from him, right? Or I'm going to end up booking him for tomorrow. If I book him for tomorrow, regardless of the lead source, we want to say, this is my last spot. Are you positive that this will work for you and your spouse together? Last spot, you and spouse together, right? And so, are you positive? I'm sorry. Are you positive this will work for you and your spouse together? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed the word positive.
It was like your thing.
I totally see. Even I mess it up, so that's why we have to talk about this stuff. So, John, right there, that would be my first stop sign that I'm inserting in the client presentation. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't know if I like the stop sign analogy anymore. But you're right, though. It's just it's a correction, right? It's a commitment. I think we can call it micro commitment, honestly, because that's exactly what it is. You're looking for a micro commitment. You're looking to make sure that you're being the leader, that they're following you, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that you're trying to do in that, and then we're going to give you several others. But yeah, buddy, I think that is the first one. And I know that you go back to this all the time, where you believe that like this sale is almost kind of started on the phones, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is it because you're leading them properly?
Yes. You're sounding like a busy professional, right? If you sound like a struggling, desperate salesperson on the phone, do you think they're going to show up? Do you think they're going to buy from you?
No.
Right? But if you can create that posture and get them to respect you, right, on that booking call and sound busy, right? Be that like if you're driving down the street and there's a restaurant and it's got no cars, and then there's another one, there's like a big lineup around the block and the parking lot's full. Like, which one are you more interested to go to?
Yeah.
If you're starving, you might go to the one that you get in fast. But if you really want like the best, in town, you're going to wait, right? So that's what we're doing. So that's why that starts on the phone with our posture and the respect that we gain from that person with our professionalism.
Yeah.
Right. So, and our tone and our tonality that's all a part of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think we could do a podcast on tonality too, because it's so important. You got to know what you're doing and what you're saying first before you use that voice and fluctuation and tonality and matching their energy. But so I like that. Any others for the phone, do you think, or no?
I think that's the biggest one when we're talking about getting a commitment. That's it. That's the date and time pin down right there.
Yeah.
Sure. There's other things like, hey, grab a pen, write this down, or whatever it is that you may do. But any time that we can get these people to do something, some agents may feel like, oh, if I do that, I might piss them off and lose them. But what actually happens is it's the opposite. The more we can get them to do, the better chance we have of them doing that the whole time, right?
Yeah.
So I know, I know you do this, Dave Kushner. Like if you are asking them to write something down, you'll have them pull over on the side of the freaking highway. like yes, and I bet you 100% of those people like end up buying or doing an application in the sales process.
Yeah, but you're right. Like even booking the appointment, right? It's like, hey, how do you normally track stuff? If they say calendar, I have them send me an invite from their calendar.
Yeah.
When they set the appointment, right? And that's when you know they're going to show up, because they're setting the appointment for you in your calendar. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. And then, yeah, in the presentation, right, meeting with families, however you want to call it, it's crazy. I think that too many newer agents, they don't get these commitments along the way. You need them to get in the habit of saying yes. Get in the habit of following you. Get in the habit of making a commitment. And that's what it is. If you just ask for a commitment at the very end, you're going to struggle, because now it's like the first time that they're saying yes to you. So you like throughout the presentation, I think these micro commitments along the way are extremely important. And I know you said that, like, I think there's 4 different areas where we have them, Miranda. We'll kind of talk about each one. We have time.
Yeah.
Role and purpose, after the fact finding, after their why, and right before you show money are the 4 different areas that at a bare bones minimum, we could find others, but this is at a bare bones minimum, making sure that you're getting a commitment, making sure that they're following along, making sure that you guys are on the same page, making sure that you're getting that yes.
Yeah.
So I know,
and if we talk about the role and purpose, right, at the beginning when we're telling people what is going to happen, we have a great role and purpose on the Don't Suck at Sales website if you guys want ours. But not only do we want like a big commitment at the end of that, like about doing the application today, but one thing, John, that I know is super important was when we're going through that role and purpose, after like each paragraph in there, get like a yes from them. Right? Because again, we just talked about getting the the posture, right? Making sure that they're engaged, that sort of thing. That happens at the start of the client presentation. So after every little paragraph, you're like, does that make sense? Does that sound good? You wouldn't be too mad at me, right? Would you just keep that engagement? Because what I found is, especially newer people, when they are doing that script and they're just reading it, people are not getting emotionally attached to that. If anything, they're getting put off because they just feel like they're getting processed. Okay. So make sure that we add that in. I did a role play class last week with some agents on my team, and oh my gosh, it was night and day from them just reading the script out and then adding in those little mini micro commitments at the end of each paragraph.
Yeah, and you have it right. So I'm like your attorney, the curious like the judge. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then after the second one, it's in your budget. Most importantly, make sure that you qualify for that insurance. So you're just making sure that they're following along, because what it's going to do is it's going to break up the monotony, if there is any, and it's going to get them to capture and pay attention. Right. Does that make sense though, Miranda?
Mm-hmm.
Getting am I saying that right? Am I correlating that properly or not necessarily?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if you just talk, it'll become monotonous.
Yes.
And when it becomes monotonous, they don't pay attention.
So and they're not.
Right.
They're probably on Facebook or watching TV or yelling at their kids, or if you don't engage with them, how do you know that even both of them are there? Hey, so that's another point. Make sure you engage both if there's two. Yeah. And they're both, hey, what do you think, John? What do you think, Jessica? But it's so important.
Yeah.
So important.
Yep. So yeah, after the role and purpose, well, it's not even after the role and purpose, it's throughout the role and purpose. And this is setting the stage and setting the standard for your presentation. You're getting a bunch of commitments and yeses along the way right here. It's going to be so much easier to get them throughout the rest. So you're laying a strong foundation for the rest of your presentation. Fact finding, right, is after the fact finding is, do you see what I see? Tell me, let's make sure that this makes sense together. So if this were to happen, this is the way that I'm seeing it play out. Do you agree with that? And you can take whatever, right? So I always kind of take their finances and then subtract it against their total bills, get a kind of a commitment as to so if you were gone, here's how this would play out. If you were gone, here's how this would play out for you. Are you guys seeing anything differently than I am? And making them own it, making them commit, making them kind of run through that dialogue. Does that make sense, Mer?
Yep. And then as they're talking, write down everything that they say, right? Have your notepad there, be writing down everything that they say. Because one of the easiest ways to get, that commitment is just repeating back what they said and asking them if they agree with it. Yeah. So John, let me make sure that I heard you, right? You just said blah, 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 blah. Is that what you said? Did I hear that right? Right? And you don't need to know anything about sales or anything. You just need to take notes and read them.
That's it.
I didn't know any of this fancy stuff, since before John and I started working together way back when. And that was all I did. And it worked 9 out of 10 of the times, it was boom.
Did you just give me all the credit for your success?
Well, some of these fancy things I did not know about. I read some of this stuff in books, but no, you're very crafty. Okay.
Well, it's funny. My mom used to say the same thing.
Crafty. I could say a whole bunch of other things, but I'll just leave it at that.
So you just kind of did it in their why, right? So as you're digging, you're asking questions. That's the third one that we're talking about right now. That's what you just did. Prior to that, I did the fact finding. Now she did their why. You just ask a bunch of questions. All right, so this is how you want it to play out for your family, right? As it stands right now, here's how it's playing out for your family, but this is how you want it to play out for your family. Am I understanding this correctly? And again, she's right. You're using their words. When you say it, it's subject to doubt. When they say it, it's kind of an undeniable fact. And it'll be more believable. And then before you show options, right? I'm kind of doing the exact same thing. As I present and I like the word idea, not options, but as I'm presenting the ideas, Miranda, I am just simply saying, I'm recapping their why. Here's exactly how this idea would play out. Now, again, this is before I'm showing any money. Here's exactly how this idea would play out. So I have idea 1 and idea 2. And do you like that idea? I haven't even shown the money yet, right? Because I promise you guys, once you show the money, the presentation's over. It's done.
So you may be doing your sale, or about to put money on the table. I want you to hear what John just said. We have to get them to agree that they like the idea first before you put money on the table, or else you're asking them to go, do you like the idea and the money? And it's too much stuff. They're going to get totally confused, and a lot of times want to think about it. Right. So when you've got your pen and you're ready to put down numbers, if you haven't got them to say yes first to what you're about to give them the price on, don't do it. There's a stop sign there. Yeah. Right? We're putting that stop sign in, make sure they like it. Once they get a yes, now it's super easy because now they've only got one thing to figure out, the price.
Correct.
Yes. And this is also where I would insert the decide tonight rebuttal. Listen, John, I'm going to start by showing you some of the most comprehensive coverage, and I'm not doing it because I want you to spend more money than you need to, right? But because I do know you want the most coverage for your family. So a lot of people will say they want to beat around the bush and, talk to their, next door neighbor or their financial advisor or sleep on it. And what that means is the price is just too high. Okay. So what I'm going to show you in a second is too much. I just want you to tell me. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they've liked the idea. They've also agreed to, yes, they're going to tell me if the price is too high. Now I'm good. Now I can go to the prices, right?
Correct. Yeah. And you might get, well, it depends on what it costs. I understand that. I get that. But I just want to make sure that we're on the same page with what you want this to do for your family. So let me repeat it again.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're only listening for the money at the very end of that. And then you might have to repeat it. And if you have to repeat it, that's perfect because they got your undivided attention on what this idea is going to do. So good. Micro commitments, Miranda. If they don't want to suck at sales, dog, what should they do?
They should just like and subscribe and get a matching jacket with us. I love this jacket. I think everyone that's got it has loved it. And true to size. Get it at our Don't Suck at Sales page, baby.
It's got a face mask in it for
Oh my gosh. I love it. But yes, like and subscribe and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all. Thanks, guys.